I'm going to be showing you how to make a strawberry syrup to use for cocktails. Really easy, really delicious. We're going to use a pound of strawberries, clean them up really nice, cut them up. We're going to use some balsamic glaze. I've got some coarse salt here, so we're using sea salt, but you can use kosher salt as well. And then I've got black peppercorn and sugar. So let's get to it. All right, check it out, guys. I've got everything set up. I've got my strawberries cut. I actually incorporated a lemon. We'll use that at the very end just to brighten it up. And waiting for my water to boil. We're gonna put in the peppercorns first. Let that simmer in the water, maybe for just a few minutes before we add the strawberries. Now that that's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate my peppercorns, which I think I measured it out to 1.5 tablespoons of peppercorn. We're gonna let that sit in the water for about 2 to 3 minutes before we add the strawberries. I like to get that flavor, just adds a little depth to the syrup. It's not gonna make it spicy or anything. Just add some layers to it. So we'll let that simmer for a little bit and then we'll come back and drop in the strawberries. All right, my peppercorns have been simmering for a little bit, so we're gonna add the strawberries now. Alrighty. Now we'll just watch these. I don't like to bring it to a boil. I'll lower the temp down just a little before it gets too crazy. And then I'm just gonna watch it. I like to go for about 10 minutes with these. Watch the coloring. Once you strip the coloring, you know that you're getting all the flavors and you're gonna get a really beautiful red hue to this syrup once this is done. So we're going to wait till that cooks down. We're gonna strain these through a fine strainer, and then we'll incorporate the rest of the flavors after that. So. All right, guys, our strawberries look like they're pretty much translucent, what we were looking for. So we got a lot of the color out of there. It's been cooking for about 10 to 12 minutes. You see what I mean by that? So we're gonna take this and we're going to strain it, and you'll see how pretty the liquid looks. Get a fine strainer and go for it. Let's see. There we go. All right, once it's all in there, you want to take your spoon and I like to just kind of mash all those flavors through. Make sure you're not leaving out anything. It smells so good in here. Just gives off such a great aroma. Not even done yet. All right, at this point you want to bring your heat low. Now we're gonna go back into our pot. Look at that color first, look at that. It's beautiful. Go back in here. There we go, now the fun part. Heat is on low. And I like starting off with a pinch of salt. And then we're going to slowly incorporate the sugar. I like to go slow. You don't want clumps in there. Just go very slowly and stir as you go. We're doing about equal parts. You do about equal parts water, equal parts sugar. You are going to be looking for a nice viscosity, and you'll see that. You want to thicken up your syrup and make it a syrup. You know, you don't want it too liquidy. When you're making the cocktails with this syrup, you're gonna want that mouthfeel that this gives off. We're going to add the balsamic glaze, which we're gonna do about 1 teaspoon of it. Same with this, a little goes a long way. What the balsamic glaze does is just really bring out that strawberry flavor. And then once it cools down, it will also thicken up Let's give this a taste. Oh man, so good. All right, we're gonna brighten this up with half of a lemon that I cut. So we're gonna use my fine strainer, hold it over. Now, it's all about taste too. You wanna taste as you go. It's so good. You wanna taste as you go. If you feel like it needs a little bit more salt, which I think this one does, I'll add another pinch. It's all about balance. You don't want it to be overly sweet. So you add the lemon juice, you add the balsamic glaze, you add the salt, so that it just makes the perfect syrup. Now, use the fine strainer again to make sure we catch anything we didn't catch the first time. And you can see how pretty that looks. All right, we're gonna let that cool. And then we're going to put it in our beautiful bottle. Alright guys, that's it for our strawberry syrup. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. There's one ingredient you can also add to this. Once we bottle it, I like to add about 3/4 of an ounce of cognac. Bourbon is you could use bourbon also. Cognac has the best effect, I feel like, but it'll help your syrup last longer, and it also gives it another depth of flavor that you might want to add in there. But that's it. Let this cool. Find a cool bottle for it, and make some cocktails. I like bourbon cocktails with the strawberry syrup. You can make strawberry margaritas, and the list goes on and on. I hope you enjoy it.